Good evening, everyone. We are back. Premier League football is back. Sunday, I cannot wait. Got a great show lined up for you. I've got Billy in the background. I'm waiting for Steve to turn up, our happy hammer from last time. He's a bit of a legend, so I hope he turns up. I'm sure he will. We've got lots to go through. First of all, though, just want to remind everyone I've started a Super 6 League. It's completely free to enter. All you got to do is download the app, use that PIN code to get into it. And I am stupidly going to give away the prize I was going to give away when I hit 1,000 subscribers. But instead, I'm going to give this away to the winner for the first prize. Second prize will be nothing, because winners only win. But I am thinking about doing a prize for the person who scores the most points in a single round through the whole season. But I haven't decided what the prize is going to be for that yet. But that's another thing. Now, closing date is Saturday at 2 p.m. and the league will be closed off. There has already been a week, so if you've missed the first week, you've got a bit of catching up to do, but I scored no points, so you haven't got much catching up to do with me. So this is going to be the look ahead, and let's enjoy the show, guys. Yes, we're back. Good evening, Billy.
Good evening, Baz.
How's it going, pal?
Good. A bit happier than yesterday. Things seem to be moving ahead. So, reason to smile at last.
At last, exactly. I don't know where Steve is. He is. Here he is. Steve, you've made it.
So, lad, I was sitting there and I was like, what do I have to do here? And then I had to scroll down because the phone is sideways. So normally if it was portrait, I'd see the little thing. So my apologies. Holy moly.
What a great start to the season already.
Where are my friends?
Brilliant. I love it. So everyone, Steve, Steve was on last time. He was a bit of a legend, so you had to come back for the first game of the season. And we'll get predictions at the end, Steve. But obviously, we did the double over your last season, so I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Are you looking forward to the first fixture?
I'm very looking forward to the first fixture, and I'm really happy that we're playing each other because at this moment in time, we deserve each other. We're like the last two on Love Island. That literally they're just scrapping for someone that might look over and say hello. So I think realistically, I think we'd both be like we're happy because we're not away to United like what normally happens or one of the top four or whatever, and give them a handy start until we get our momentum. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I think everyone's buzzing for this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. You just put us on the Love Island track already. We're like Hugo, aren't we? Couldn't find anyone pretty.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there.
Drip.
Like, what a lip. I'm no oil painting myself, but Jesus, he was painful, wasn't he? Holy moly. Bill is like, what?
Oh, the missus watches it, Billy. It's not my fault.
Yeah. That's what they all say.
I love it. So let's jump in straight into it's probably going to bit of a dagger into your heart, Stevie. But what's your season going to be like without this man? I mean, he did the same sort of thing as what we're going to come on to about Willock. But if you look at those stats, he was fantastic for you guys, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was electric. To be fair, I think we kind of brought in Benrahma to do that kind of flair player. Defense to attack role, and it never really happened for him. Now he's been really good in pre-season, but Jesse just came in and just hit the ground running straight away. Now he did dip in form, but you couldn't keep that momentum of form up like he did. No. Otherwise you'd be in the top 10 players in the world. It was ridiculous. He was doing it consistency away to Villa. He was just bang bang bang, goals assist. Obviously we're all gutted that we couldn't get him on a permanent. what's probably going to happen is he's back at United. If he gets a few games, he'll be happy to stay. But if he's benched all the time, etc., hopefully we can go back for him in January. I'm hoping that's why Moyes hasn't, gone out and tried to get another type of number 10. He has come out and stated that Benrahma, will get a bigger role in the team this year. So to me, that kind of says, okay, we're going to give this guy a chance, and hopefully it doesn't work out for Jesse back at United, and we can swoop in January and get him. But he's a phenomenal player. But you have to think of his background. He's a Manchester fella. You know what I mean? He's got a daughter up there. It'd be hard to. It'd be different if he was moving the whole family. I think he's separated, so it'd be different if he was moving the whole family down. Like sometimes family convert, and when you're on big cheese like he is, 120, 130, 40 grand a week, does he need to come back to us? But hopefully, I feel bad because I love the guy, but hopefully he doesn't get a minute and he ends up coming back to us. But we will miss him. We will miss him massively. Like even the last game when we played you guys away, he got the penalty, he stuck it, and let's see what happens without him. But he is going to take that little 10, 15 extra % that we had last season away from us. But, let's be fair. Like we were up in the big positions, before he came in January. Do you know what I mean? But he was a replacement for Haller. We got rid of Haller and he was kind of a replacement because that's where we played. And he did pick up the mantle quite well, even though they're completely different types of players. But, he got the goals that we wanted Haller to get.
And he was in the second half of the game. Sorry, Stevie. Second half of the game last year at St James's, Lingard was superb. He was the catalyst to that comeback, which obviously ended in defeat. But he spurred the whole team on with 10 men. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding in the second half of that game. It'll be a big. I think it'll be a big. A big miss will be. I'm sure he will be.
Yeah. You don't replace a player like that. We've all had we love like Newcastle. West Ham, we love a flair player. We don't get them every season. We might get one every 5 years. That's like, oh, can we keep hold of like we did with Payet? Can you keep him for a couple of seasons until someone picks him and takes him away? So when we had him, we enjoyed it. It's just a shame we weren't there to actually physically see him playing, every week. But he's going to be a massive loss to us. And we haven't replaced him either. So,
The one thing I feel sorry for Lingard is he going to get a game at Man United? I look at their team and I look at the way they play. I don't see where he fits in. I really don't, because of Pogba, and Pogba is the big cheese at Man United. I don't see how Jesse fits alongside him. So to me, if Jesse had aspirations of getting back into the England squad and wanting to play week in, week out, like Willock, it's a no-brainer. He should move to West Ham. You guys want him. You love him. It's such a short career as a footballer. You don't want to be sitting on the bench or in the squad, and that's where I think he will end up until January, and then again you'll come in for him, and then hopefully he'll go back to you.
Well, maybe you have to think as well. They're back in Champions League, ain't they? So maybe he's thinking, okay, the squad is going to be used a little bit more this season. Maybe I might get more game time. Even with Sancho and Rashford on the wing. Like how many times have we seen Pogba play kind of left of a 3-man midfield? You know what I mean? Like he needs to be in the middle, and that's where Jesse wants to be. So, we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. Hopefully. But listen, we all lose players. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you just have to keep on going. Someone else is going to get their chance, and it's always been a team game, especially with us. Last season epitomized that. To be fair, for most of it. Because we did have injuries, we did lose Rice in different time. We didn't have Jesse to start the season. We lost Antonio for a bit. We lost Ogbonna, our best defender, for a significant amount of games. Yes. That probably cost us. Like I don't want to say it cost us getting top 4, but we were in the mix. We were never really gonna sustain that position, but at the same time, we didn't want to be hanging on either. To 6th after the good season we had. So if you lose a player could get injured, and you'd have to plow on without him. We've way deeper problems than not having Jesse Lingard. Let's put it that way. You know what I
mean? We'll come on to that sort of stuff. So we'll move on to a bit of Newcastle news. So Billy, this man, Willock, hopefully, fingers crossed, like a lot of people say, never fall in love with a lone player. Both clubs have done it. We both fell in love with these two guys, Willock and Jesse. hopefully he's signing tomorrow before the deadline so he can sit on the bench and hopefully get the winner again like he did last time.
No.
But how much of a miss would he be if he's not available for Sunday and if we don't actually get him, even though I think it's done and dusted, to be honest with you.
Well, I think the deal it will be done tomorrow. But irrespective of that, he's only had 48 minutes of football in pre-season, so at the very best, it'll be a bench place, and even that could be a push. It'll be a huge void in our side because without him last year, we would have been relegated. Absolutely no doubt about that, and his crucial goals. What I like about Willock is his strength. He's so strong with him carrying the ball. He's got a lot of skill. He's got a bit of everything, actually, Joe Willock, and he'll be a great signing for us. But as for Sunday, I think that might be a bridge too soon for him.
I hope so, in a way, because I don't want him to get 10 minutes and not break Shiva's record, because he's got a chance of scoring 9 consecutive games in a row, which would be unbelievable. And for him to come on for 10 minutes and that not to happen, that would be just absolutely devastating if that happens.
That's the sort of thing Steve Bruce would do, though, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
He wouldn't think of that, would he?
He's a knob end, isn't he? Steve, we'll talk about managers because this poll was done by Sky and 91% of all Newcastle fans who voted said Steve Bruce is not the man to take Newcastle forward. As an outsider looking in, what do you think of Steve Bruce? Do you see why we're angry with him all the time?
Yeah, I probably would have, like in years gone by, would have had, a lot of interest in the Championship, being a bit of a yo-yo club ourselves. So I always would have paid attention to Steve Bruce because he was always a guy that could get you up. You know what I mean? But then he two years at a team, like Mourinho, 2 years at a team, and the rot starts to kick in. I don't know if some of these guys is used the way, you know what I mean? Like 10 years makes a big change, especially with some of the the players that people are buying in now. It's good to see him going off getting Willock. And number one, trying to get him, but number two, but getting him to come, you know what I mean, like getting him to leave out to come, fair play to him, so that that player must have some type of trust in him. I thought Wilson was a great buy for you guys last season.
Oh yeah, massive.
And I thought he got you up and running and kept you going, and then Willock kind of came in at the end and it's like a chef that makes your starter.
An injection, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the chef that comes in and makes you a banging dessert, but like the dinner isn't the best. The dinner ain't the best in the middle.
And of course, Wilson wasn't there then, was he?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Joe Linton
dovetail, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, we would have all got a game at some stage. But yeah, Steve Bruce is. To be fair, it's a big step down. Like you had Rafa for so long, and he was so good, and he worked on a limited budget. And Steve Bruce is the same, but I think he can do it if he comes up with a team and tries to keep him up for one season and buys the type of players that he does, but sustainable. Like as in a medium to long term project. He's not the man. But look, we all shout and roared and. Not me personally, but a lot of our probably 40% of our fan base were going crazy when Moyes got the job at West Ham, and he, he's a little bit older as well, and he's been fantastic. So it can work, it can click, but I think this is Steve Bruce's last big chance. Like if you start the season badly and you're struggling, then he's been given the summer. He hasn't been given any money. Bit like Moyes, do you know what I mean? If you attach like for like, you kind of have to say, okay, we've got a manager that was kind of shaky and unproven. We gave him a go and he's done well. You guys were pretty same taking a chance on Steve Bruce. Obviously, he's a Geordie and you want him to come home. You want him to do well, but then that makes it even more frustrating when it doesn't happen because you kind of think, does he care enough? Does he care like we do? But yeah, I think you deserve better. Let's put it that way. You deserve better. You're established Premier League team now at this moment in time. But money talks, doesn't it? You have to look at Moyes. Moyes got small money when he came back to I think the first time he came back, he got 10 grand a week. You know what I mean? Like that's peanuts for managers. And he kept us up, and then he got a bonus. And then we went off, got Pellegrini, and then he messed things up, wasted a lot of money. We ended up getting, going back to Moyes again. And he got a new contract there a few months ago. So I'm sure, I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's a lot better than his 10 grand a week. You know what I mean? So yeah, Yeah, we're very similar when it comes to that. Like you pay that money, you have a budget of that, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get someone that actually just wants him to stay in the league. That's all he wants, just wants him, and he'll do what he did last season. Remember, same thing last window, last summer. You're waiting. Next thing, bang, bang, bang. All these 3 or 4 players start coming in. It's like, oh, okay, we can be a bit excited now, and hopefully that's what we're going to do the same thing, because these guys, they're penny pinchers and they're waiting to get the very, very best deal at the last minute, ain't they? That's their.
Well, you've got European football to offer, haven't you? So that you've got to be banging on the door of some decent players, because everyone wants to play in Europe. So you've got a unique opportunity there to be in the market for players of a higher quality, still relatively cheap. There's still good buys out there. You should be in pole position to be signing these players because you've got more to offer.
Barry, we've been in this situation before, haven't we? We've been in the exact same situation as what Stevie and West Ham are now, when Pardew finished 5th, and we signed one player in the summer when we needed to increase the squad. More games, you got more games, more competitive games. We went into the next season with one more player, Anita, and that was it. But the difference between Moyes and Bruce is there's a big difference. Moyes has actually been a good manager in his time. He was a fantastic manager at Everton. He went to Manchester United. He was the wrong man at the wrong time for Manchester United. I think that might have knocked his confidence when he went to Sunderland. But quality shines through in the end. He's been, as you say, he's been superb for West Ham, and he's a good manager. There's no doubt. Yeah. No doubt in my mind. He's a very, very good manager. Yeah, as opposed to Steve Bruce, who isn't.
Yeah, well, I don't know what Steve Bruce's backroom team are like, but we've got a very, very good backroom team, and that makes a big difference. And to be fair, the owners backed him there. They put the people in that he wanted. It's just our transfer strategy is just a bit mental, and it's not very it's not very thought out. But as a coach and team, they're spot on. You can't fault what they're doing, especially with everyone they bought. Like every player they bought, he just hit the nail on the head. And we were meant to have this 70 million to spend in the summer, plus any players that were sold. That money would be used as well, but. That hasn't happened. We got Arlo from, that guy that played in goal for Fulham last year. Good player. But we've 7 goalkeepers at our club now. And we have one. No, I'm not joking. We've 7. And we've 1 striker. We've Antonio. That is it. We have Antonio. 2 young lads, 2 guys in the 23s, whatever. But
sounds very familiar, that, doesn't it?
That it's scary. Like, it's scary. And there's no one close. Like, we wanted Tammy. So, God knows, Tammy wants to go to Arsenal by all accounts, Tabby Abraham.
Is that why you wouldn't,
Yeah, fair. Like, look at the wages Arsenal pay. They pay stupid money for donkeys, and then they can't get rid of them and they wonder why. Do you know what I mean? They're throwing 200 grand and 170 grand at random players. So, like, if we got Tammy, I would have been like, because all we needed a centre-half, we needed a striker. We probably needed a backup midfielder, because when Rice got injured last season, we lost a bit of momentum. Now we do have Connor Coventry coming through, and I think he's mustard. He was brilliant in pre-season. So I saw that. I'd be quite happy to let him have some game time, because he's slick. He can move the ball. He's a lovely player. But at the same time, we need another centre half. Balbuena's gone. We haven't replaced him.
You have the one, aren't you? You have the one from Fiorentina. I was reading.
Yeah, what's his name? I have it written down.
Milenkovic, is it? Milenkovic.
Oh, good man, Bill. That's the man. I'll bring you out with me. yeah. This guy. Listen, it's not like 20 years ago when we used to sit down on a Sunday morning and watch Football Italia, and we'd know every player that plays in every team, and Sampdoria and the kits and the whole lot. Then were the days I don't have a clue who this geezer is. Never seen him. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert. If we get him, he's meant to be good. If we get him, I'd be happy, because we need bodies. We need players. Like you said, we're going into European competition, and you look at the teams that are in that. It's ridiculous. Marseille and all these quality sides. Like, it's not like years ago when you'd be off in Latvia or Lithuania playing some pub team. Like they're proper good teams now. Like the standard has increased massively. And I can't wait to get involved in it, to be honest with you. I'm going. I don't care. Tickets, no tickets. I'm going to every one of them away game. I'm going to be all over. I'm waiting my whole life for this. But I'm not going to say it's going to be spoiled if we can't go and have a go. But we need to get the finger out quick. I'll
tell you who you missed out on, and someone you should have bought, and you probably could have been in pole position to get him, would have been Danny Ings.
Do you know what? He said he wanted European football. and we were all like, "Oh wow, that's great," but 30 million quid.
I think he's worth every penny. I think he's worth every penny.
Hey,
I really do.
Southampton probably would have struggled a lot. I know they were hovering. They probably would have went down without him last year.
Oh, easily.
Do you know what I mean? Like him and Ward-Prowse just saved the day. He got goals like crazy. And every time he played us, he was like, "Oh no, here he goes." He gets it around the box and do you know what I mean? He's just bloody lethal.
Yeah.
Sturridge used to be like that. Sturridge before he lost his mind. He's such quick feet, shifted to the left or right, real quick, bang. And Ings just has that. But Ings can get into the box. Oh, he's a quality player. But Villa spend a lot of money. They've got very rich owners. So, maybe he's...
And £100 million from Grealish.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So, they, I think I was listening to Purslow. He, when he apologized, which was quite classy. Imagine our club's coming out and doing something like that. No chance.
Nope.
But he was quite classy, and he was honest. He goes, "We've got 3 players in to replace Jack because they're the 3 attributes that we needed. Them 3 players have." And he's like, "Yeah, can't argue with that, can you?" Like they've actually gone and done it quick, easy. Them and Leicester. Oh, that's the player we need. Bang, 24 hours, 40 hours, it's done.
Yeah.
Whereas we're arsing around with agent fees and add-ons and all this shit. Excuse my French, but it's quite frustrating. So, I would have... Danny Ings would have been ideal. But saying that, we do like to play a number 9 like Antonio. And we had Haller before, and is he a number 9? Ish. He'd need probably... I don't know, is he a number 9? But he's still gonna get you 10 goals. People talk about 20 goal a season players. That thing is in the past. No one has 20 goal a season players. The top 3 or 4, maybe. Yeah. If you have a player at your club and he's scoring 12 goals... That is gold dust. That is bet. Like if he's 10, 11, 12, you're like, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose, or at least draw a lot of away games and stuff like that. So, we should have been all over Danny Ings, definitely. Yeah. But
even with Ings, he could have played behind Antonio, and if Antonio was injured, he could have then played up on top on his own. So he would have played regardless in my eyes.
Yeah. Now, what Moyes was doing last season was he a couple of times, and in preseason he's played Bowen up front, and Bowen has been absolutely preseason. He's been probably our best player in preseason. Every game, him and Coventry have been electric, but Bowen has been lethal. Like he's just, I don't know what it is. He just found his groove or something like that. Like Moyes turned Antonio into a striker. Let's not forget that. And if he does it to Bowen, happy days. But that's not an excuse not to go off and buy a striker. You know what I mean?
No, because, not.
At the top level, you're going to be found out because, let's call a spade a spade. An out-and-out striker, it's bred into you and you know it. And like Antonio isn't going to do the whole season, so we can't rely on a winger / makeshift striker to play.
This sounds familiar, Barry. It all sounds familiar to us. Steve Bruce thinks he's got 5 centre forwards and he's only really got 2. But
2? Oh, you're lucky.
But one of them is Stuart Gale.
Standard, isn't he?
Oh.
I'll tell you another player who I thought you might have had a sniff around. Again, he's an ex-Geordie. Well, I say he's a Geordie, but Adam Armstrong potentially. I mean, price was a lot cheaper than Ings.
Yeah, all last season. Last January we were supposedly looking at him. People were saying, 20 million is too much for a championship player. I remember look like his name coming up like last season and the end of the one before that. So I'm quite surprised we weren't in the mix. You'd like to think that we have a master plan, and that Moyes is just like, no, I want this guy and that's what I want. I have European football. Maybe, I might be able to entice this player in, easily, and I'm willing to wait till we negotiate properly. You're hoping that, but like Armstrong, Ings, two, and like championship players have been good for us. Benrahma, to be fair, he's had a really good pre-season, and he finished the season kind of okay. And Bowen has been fantastic. And look at Cresswell; he's played like 200, 300 games for us. It's like it hasn't let us down, and especially if Moyes just might not fancy him. There was another player he didn't fancy. It'll come to me later on, and he's ended up playing. Eze. He wanted Eze last year.
Right.
Palace.
That was his number 1. But David Sullivan seems to he has a friend that's an agent, and that agent is the agent for Benrahma. So 9 times.
Right.
Dawson, nearly any player that we get is a Will Salthouse player. I said this to you, Basil, last season. So he has something, he it seems to make it easier for them to get them players that he looks after. So, yeah, if you're Will Salthouse, I must look up a list, actually, because realistically, they're going to be the only players we're going to sign.
Yeah. Evening, Thomas. Thanks for joining me, even though you're a little bit late. You haven't missed too much, but you missed a lot at the same time. I'm going to throw one more name at you, Stevie. And I don't know whether he's moved away from Chelsea yet, but what about Giroud? Would you take him?
Drew's gone. I think he's gone to AC Milan.
Gone to Italy. Yeah.
Has he gone? Has he? I wasn't too sure if he had left or not, because I think he again would have been another great player for you.
Perfect. I think there was, when we sold Haller in January, I think we wanted, a lot of the fans said, Giroud would be a perfect fit. People were slagging him off saying he doesn't score any goals, but he scored goals for Chelsea last season. Do you know what I mean? He scored. He's a very important player, very good player. He would have fit into our system perfectly. But listen, sometimes some players are just too good for you. Like we might not think he's too good,
true.
but Chelsea pay massive wages, like massive money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've got Yarmolenko, like, he's our biggest earner. He's on, I think he's under 120 grand. Like, and do you know what I mean? He's not good enough to get that money. So if Giroud comes in, what are you going to have to pay him? Because he's going to look at Yarmolenko. Hey, who's this geezer? Yeah. I want 170.
World Cup winner. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't match that.
Yeah.
You can't match that. So yeah, you're spot on. He would have been perfect. Would have got him on a free as well. Oh, Sullivan loves a free. But I'm upset that we didn't go for him, at least, because Haller's gone. Haller's gone since January. Like 3 seasons ago, we had Chicharito, Perez, Andy Carroll, Antonio. Like all these like big strike, good like proper strikers. And now we've just got Antonio. It's just scary. It's just scary. If he gets injured, we're absolutely screwed. But watch out Sunday. He has been in beast mode the last few weeks in pre-season. He has been phenomenal. Like,
he's a class player, Antonio. Very good player. Excellent player.
He's just getting better and better. Like, he's just like the last few. I know it's only pre-season, and we've all had good pre-seasons and got excited and then just get thumped 4-0 first game. But he's been on fire. So yeah, we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him against Sherlock on Sunday, definitely.
I liked him at Forest. He's the player that's got. Well, he's got everything. He's got pace. He's got skills. He's powerful. He's a great finisher. I think he's got. He's clever.
I think he's got the. Yeah, I think he's got the most headed goals or something, like something crazy like that.
Yeah, something stupid like that. Yeah.
Something mental like that you would think. Of all the great strikers that have been in the Premier League, you'd think there'd be one, especially your guy Shearer. You'd think he'd be way out there with headed goals. Any news on the third kit for you guys? I actually had a question for you guys. You got a new kit. You got a new kit supplier, didn't you?
We have.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Castro.
Yeah, did Rangers get Castore? Oh, la la.
Castore or Castore, however you pronounce it. Once you see it, you can't see past the number 4.
Oh.
The collar sort of ties up there, and it's with the black and white stripes. It looks like you've got number 4 on it.
Oh, I get.
No, I didn't notice it when I first saw it, and then
I did straight away.
And now
number 4. It's all I can see. And I looked at it and went, for crying out loud, it's all I can see now.
But listen, we're grown up. So like, what about the half zips and the jumpers and the coat? Like, there's 2 things for me with Umbro. They do brilliant half zips, and their rain jackets are really, really good. I've got the full manager jacket, and it's quality. The Umbro gear, the jumpers are quality. That's what you want, because
definitely.
I don't really wear football shirts that much anymore, but the jumpers, the jackets, the zips, like second skin on all the time. You guys are probably the same. So that's the most important thing. So that's the clobber you need to. That's the most important thing. So what's their gear?
To be fair, our away top is very, very nice.
Yeah, I like the away top.
And obviously it's black and gold. It's really, really nice.
I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it. I saw the home one, and I thought, I think the thick lines, aren't they? There's really thick lines on it. Yeah,
they started doing that now. I don't understand all that. It's black and white stripes. It's meant to be, at least 3 or 4, 5 stripes on it. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Listen, I lose the head when we don't have white socks because we're meant to have like
Really?
white shorts and white socks. Villa have white socks and claret socks and white shorts. So like I get angry when we like this season now we've got claret shorts and I don't like it. It's like when we need the blue sleeves. It's very, very important for me. So yeah, I'm with you there about on the traditional stuff, but sorry, Thomas, do you know the answer to Thomas's question, by the way?
No, we don't know.
Kit, I've seen a picture of one that's apparently going round, and I don't really like the looks. I think it's yellow or something stupid like that. I wouldn't want to comment on it, Thomas, to be completely honest with you.
Well, yellow was our traditional away kit for years, wasn't it?
It was. Remember the deck chair one with the yellow-orange?
I've got that somewhere.
It looked like a deck chair cover for a Spanish pool or something like that. It was terrible.
Bananas and custard.
Yeah. Oh, we got hammered for that, Stevie. We really did. That was when we were in the championship the first time around when Houghton was in charge, wasn't it? And Andy Carroll burst onto the scene. It was. I
bought that the same day as the Bobby Robson testimonial game and wore it to the game. And I don't know, but I felt like everyone was laughing at me in the ground. And everyone could see me as well.
It was a terrible shirt. It really was. We've sort of touched on the topic already, but I want to talk about owners. Now, obviously, we're both in the same boat. We both want our owners out of our football club. We were this close again, apparently, to it happening. The Saudis were going to be taken over. We would have had players like Danny Ings to Giroud to potentially watch this season. But we're still stuck with Mike Ashley, and it's doing my head in. I look at you guys, and you guys finished 5th, and you're still not happy with your owners. What's so bad about your owners to what we've got? I need to know.
Yeah, I suppose. Where do I start? Jesus Christ!
So there's got to be an issue with leaving your traditional home. Surely that's got to be a massive issue.
We could go down that road, right? We'll be here all night. Everybody knows the facts. It's on Sky every time we're playing there. Oh, this is our new home. Blah blah blah. Yeah, most of us don't want to be there. If you guys have been there, it's not a football ground. It's a waste of time. I was there. The last game we were allowed into Southampton, I was there, and there was a steward. They have these stewards, and they're not even proper stewards. They're there for like concerts and stuff. So like when you're at football, you're not being stewarded by a proper steward. You know what I mean? And there was one woman, she was standing across from me, because I was near the away fans, and she was like, oh, I'm so bloody cold, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And one guy in front of me goes, why don't you go in and get a cup of coffee? And she turned around and say, why should I? And he was like, if you're cold, just go get a cup of coffee or whatever. Yeah. And she goes, would you tell your mum to do that? I just thought, oh my God, do you know what I mean? Like, he's looking at her and I'm going, oh my God, bite your tongue. Do you know what I mean? Like, just looking to start trouble. But listen, put that to the side. And the owners, new badge, nothing on the badge, shit stadium, moving us away. Wherever I should say, moving us to Stratford, which is an absolute massive shithole as well. You know, you don't have your pubs, you don't have anything. A lot of stuff is closed now around Upton Park where everything was. A lot of businesses that relied on West Ham, you know, and that's the heart of the community. Same as you guys, you'd know, you know, you go to the cafe, you might go to a certain place for food, you might go to a certain place for beers. You know what I mean? It's just a routine that's just lifelong, simple as that. And a lot of people that were going, my first game was 1988, 89, I think, and you know, that's a long time. But there was people going 20, 30 years before me. You know what I mean? Now they've just stopped going. You've got the recruitment, which is absolutely terrible. We don't have proper scouting system. We just have Sullivan, his son, and Will Salthouse just throwing players at us, and that's why we got so much trouble. Our training facilities are the worst in the league. I think they're one of the probably be in the top 10.
Where worst.
You said that last time. Have you seen our porta cabins? You got a big fancy mansion. We've got porta cabins.
Have you got ice baths? We've got wheelie bins.
Oh. We have wheelie bins for ice baths. It's terrible. Pools from Sports Direct.
Yeah, free ones. But you know that's all well and good. Fair. You have to cut your cloth, whatever. But like, do not come out and tell us we're going to have this and then give us this. It's a completely different kettle of fish. Like the stadium thing is the main thing. but the owners complete lies, you know, on a constant basis, and no class, no sophistication, no style about doing anything. We're laughing stock. When we tried to buy Bacca a couple of years ago, you know, we made idiots of ourselves. We made idiots of ourselves trying to buy, what's that Portuguese midfielder? He played well in the Euros, actually. I think he was a Porto at the time. We made
Sanchez.
idiots. No, the other one. A guy with a tash. Oh, jeez, it'll come to me in a second. We made idiots of ourselves there. But this is going to, what I'm going to tell you now is just going to epitomize the whole lot. So it doesn't have to be a massive thing. It can be a small thing. Yeah. People, there was a Fornell's shirt on sale on the club shop yesterday. Right, match worn shirt, Man City, whatever it was, you know, last season, blah, blah, blah. So people looked it up, whatever. He wasn't in the squad that night.
Dear me.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
so like
you can have that one.
That's been taken down. Do you know what I mean? Not like, oh, actually he was there, but you know, he wasn't on the official sheet because he might have been injured, blah, blah, blah. He was there and he had a shirt, blah. But no. He wasn't even, you know, like they just took it down. Said not and just hide it.
Not an apology, you know, we made a mistake.
No. There's there's just so much. Brady, just so much. But like you know, like you leave your home, you know, it has to be special. Like all the other teams that have left their home, and you know, maybe bar Arsenal because it's whinge bags anyway. But most people are kind of like happy for a little while. You know, look at Southampton. You know, they get a nice stay. Sunderland to a degree. Your friends, you know, over the river. You know, they got a decent stadium. Even if the seats did go a different colour. I think they got new ones last year. Fair play to them. But but you know what I mean. Yeah, Spurs, they're whinge bags as well. They're moaning about their stadium, like best stadium in the world, and now they're moaning about it now. Yeah, but they've got the safe standing now as well. They've got the rails for safe standing in the terrace behind the goal. Yeah, but half of them are sitting down and half of them are standing up.
Oh God.
But that's the thing, when you move stadium, people get moved around, you know what I mean? So you would have had people that want to sit down, and then you'd have people that would always stand in a certain area. I'm a stander, you know what I mean? Some people like to sit, but then if you move if you're a new stadium, then you have half people going there and half people going there, and then someone sit down, someone stand up, some have kids, some of them don't, some might bring their wives, some of them just bring the lads. So, you know, all them things, and that affects the atmosphere as well. You know what I mean? That affects the singing and the bantering, and you know, if you go to a game or you're like me, you want to have a few Guinness before the game and have a bit of a laugh. Then you know, if you're in a family area, it just doesn't work. So there's little factors like that to take into consideration too. But yeah, Goal and Sullivan, they need to go sharpish, because they're not investing in it. We're still in debt.
So I've got a good stat for you. So since owning finance in 2010 to 2020. West Ham owners have put 80 million into the club. Guess how much Mike Ashley's put into Newcastle? His own personal money, this is, by the way.
His own money?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'd 80 million in 10 years from your owners has been put into West Ham, their own money. So how much has Mike Ashley put into Newcastle?
Now, you have to remember, they've put in their own money and charge us interest on that money to get it back. So that's another thing that a lot of people don't really. Yeah. They've actually and David Gold said, if I put it in a bank, I would have got more interest. That was his answer to the question. Like,
that's really bad.
That's terrible, isn't it? Now, knowing Ashley, he obviously has a company that owns Newcastle, not him. You know what I mean? And he he has funds going through that as a sustainable kind of business or company. So his own money, I'd say that'd be very hard to tell. But would we go? Like, I'm going to be generous here and say 50.
Yeah, 0, mate.
0.
Not 0. A penny.
Wow.
Not a penny.
That's added to, in 14 years his transfer business, he's spent a net value of £7 million in 14 years.
I think we're 100. I think we're 120 or something like that net over. I think we've done 25 million, but a lot of that, we've a lot of outgoing on that. But Jesus, that's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible.
I mean, grand a year for 14 years. That's what you spent as the club money. So,
and then you've got TV money, you've got prize money, transfers, obviously, free advertising for his sports shop.
Yes.
And yet, the loan he gave us in 2008-9, when he got us relegated through his actions, still hasn't been touched, hasn't been paid. he's going to start claiming that back now. So he's pocketed all this money and still says, "Oh, by the way, you still owe me this for the relegation in 2008-9."
That's exactly it. But it's a little bit like it's a little bit like the Glazers when they got Man United. They borrowed money to buy Man United.
They did, yeah.
And then when they had Man United, they borrowed more money to buy more shopping centers back in America to finance, their own world, if you know what I mean. So like, it's a big conglomerate. Like it's like a company now, with different arms on it. Like they have a company, they have shopping centers, they have Man United, they have probably merchandising, then they probably have a media side of the business as well. So it's like a proper business. And obviously they've more coming in and going out, so they're going to get away with it. But West Ham and Newcastle, we don't.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's coming in and it's getting drained down and into little port cabins and little ice bags.
But to the regular supporter, the Man United, as not Man United supporters, I look at the Glades and think, well, yeah, but they have spent £250 million on transfers, whereas ours have spent nothing.
Yeah, so, only City have spent more than them.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that. They have been backed. To be fair, Sullivan and Gold, they did back Pellegrini. Backed him too big. Give Wilshere a 5-year deal. Like, what kind of a lemon does that? On 100 something grand a week, like it's just these things that we do. It's just so, and now we're broke because of stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just get some So that's why.
What really makes me angry is Man City 1.13 billion. Their owners have put their own money into their club. Put into perspective,
financial fair play thing
was a non-entity, wasn't it? Billion. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. See, what they do is they're clever. They build infrastructure, and then that's where the money's going. You know what I mean? They're paying for so much. But to be fair, like City spend a lot of money, but like Villa spent 200 and something million the last 2 windows.
Oh yeah.
Man United have spent a hell of a lot of money. Like Arsenal throw money around like there's no tomorrow. Tottenham, but all the Tottenham fans, more money, we don't spend it. They spend like 40 million quid on every single player. It's not our fault they're shit.
Are you ready?
You know what I mean?
Are you ready for this, Steve?
You should have told me there was stats happening. Right? I would have brought my stats. My laptop.
There's some cracking stats on here. I'm telling you, I love all this because you just mentioned some clubs there about spending a lot of money. Arsenal, their owners, have only spent 15 million of their own money. Spurs, 15 million of their own money in the last 10 years.
Fuck.
Villa, third in this list in the last 10 years. 459 million they've spent of their own money. Their own money, not the club's money, their own money. Now, Man United and Liverpool wonder why they can't catch Man City. Man United have only spent 297 million of their own money, and Liverpool 131 million of their own money.
Wow.
And they wonder why Liverpool they can't catch Man City.
Yeah, Liverpool have been blessed with like Coutinho and Suarez. When we sell someone, we get 500 grand or undisclosed. When they sell someone, it's like 50, 60, 70, 190 million. Like, what the hell? How are they, they've been absolutely blessed. They've been poxed. They have. But the rest of them, like, Jesus, imagine trying to catch City after spending all that money. But listen, it happens in every country. You look at everybody, like, sings about German football, but like Bayern Munich just mop up everyone. They just go, oh, he's good, I'll have him. PSG, I'll have him. For years, AC Milan used to do it up to a certain extent. To be fair, they had a bit of class and they did it. They used to go out and buy a lot of Dutch players and stuff like that as well. But like, Real Madrid, Barcelona, the wheels have fallen off there. They used to just cherry pick the best in Europe, not even in their own league. Man United did it for years. How many times did Man United? Look what they did. Oh, we want Andy Cole. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember my best friend is a Man United supporter, and I met him over the bridge coming to the school bus, and he goes, "We're buying Andy Cole. We're buying Andy Cole." And I was like, "What?" Because I used to love the McCune's Larg with the Asics shirt, and he used to wear them cycling shorts. He looked the business, and he was dying and goes. He was I loved him. He was even if he was other teams' player. I loved him. He was class. And then Man United just like snap him up. Oh, we'll have him. We'll have Sheringham. We'll have, they used to take everyone. You know what I mean? They used to do it too. So City are just they're just the new ones. At least there's other teams that can kind of compete with them. Like I was looking at a stat there the other day. Like Chelsea have won 8 European trophies now. They've
amazing,
won more than Man United.
Mm.
Do you know? Like, people forget about that. You know, like I think they're
everybody
the top with 13. Yeah, you know, like
I mean, they were winning European trophies in the 70s and the 90s, so it's been quite a longevity for them too, isn't it? I mean, or they've spent a lot of money in the process since, but I mean, it's not a Johnny Come Lately team. Chelsea, they were a big side in the 70s, 60s, and
then the Arsenal.
I do hate the fact they're spending that money from someone that isn't allowed in the country. But there you go. That's another matter.
Yeah, because like obviously growing up, I'd hate them. You know, them and Millwall would be my two most hated teams, and to see them crack on and just be so good at buying good players like all the time.
Yeah,
and quality coaches, and like I have a friend that's a coach there, and like he says, like what they do, they get the families involved. Like they have family days where all the staff's kids come in and they play and sign, get jerseys and stuff signed by the actual player. You know, I'm talking dinner ladies, everything. You know, just bits of class like that the rest of us don't do. And he tells me so much stuff. He's like, it's just a class club from top to bottom. It kills me to say that, and talk to him about that.
Yeah, I bet.
There's one thing like spending money, but then there's another thing like, like a bit like Leicester, class, doing it the right way. City, to be fair to say, they've invested in so much infrastructure. If you look at their complexes, like it's incredible what they've done there. Yeah. Now, whether them lads are going to own that club for the next 30, 40 years, who knows? Will they be left in the ship? But like, to be fair, if Abramovich left Chelsea in the morning, someone else would come in and just you know what I mean? Like the only thing holding Chelsea back is like they haven't cracked on with a new stadium yet. Because like to be fair, like Stamford Bridge is my favourite away day. I don't know what your guys' favourite away days. You might tell me, but like I love going to Stamford Bridge. Just old school, proper ground. Like I love it. Like so, it would be a shame for that to go. What grounds do you guys like to go to?
I'm a Villa Park man, main and White Hart Lane. They're my two favourite ones. Yeah, White Hart Lane obviously isn't there anymore. But Villa Park, but that sort of got tainted after the relegation. So.
God, we have to go back to that, don't we?
I used to like Hillsborough too.
Yeah,
I've only been to a few. I've only been to West Brom, Blackburn, Wembley, and the Millennium Stadium. To be fair, so I haven't been to many away games. But,
Millennium is brilliant.
It was, apart from the result, of course. Always happy.
I don't like Wembley.
Unfortunately,
I saw Gerrard score that last minute equaliser at Millennium Stadium. So
it's so close to winning the FA Cup. That was incredible.
My brother-in-law literally collapsed crying. He's a West Ham fan.
Do you know what?
He was dancing around the room, preempting victory. Whenever you do that, something happens, and within 30 seconds of him going, "We've won the cup!" Bang.
Yeah.
And
but
it was hard for me to stifle a giggle.
Yeah, but do you know what's funny? Like we were all there. I was behind the goal up the top tier, and we were all there. And like we were, it was just really good atmosphere. We were singing, and the whole game we outsang them the whole game. Fair play. And then they put the board up for injury time, and everyone just stood up and just started going absolutely fucking crazy. Like we thought, we're nearly there, and that was the first time everyone thought, Jesus, we're actually going to fucking win it. We were always waiting for the equalizer. We were waiting. And then that went up. It was like, oh, shit, come on, we're going to do it. And then that went in. It was like, and to be fair, a lot of people forget, like, that was only the equalizer. Like, there was still, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the winner or anything.
No, it was extra time after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there was another 2 goals scored after that. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the deflatedness of it being that close and the scoring equalizer in injury time.
Do you know what, Bazza? Yeah, do you know what, Bazza? Like, if we'd won that, this situation now wouldn't be so bad. Do you know what I mean? Because you would have said, I had that. I had that moment. I had that time. I am happy now. Now, the 2 things I always wanted to see is win a cup or get into Europe. The last time we went, I was a bit young. I wasn't in a position to go, but now the wife's like, you can go, no problem. I'm like, yeah, nice one, sound. I'm there. I don't care. I'm sleeping on benches, backs of taxis. I don't give a shit. I'm going. And like, obviously, that win of the cup was taken away from my grasp, but at least I'm getting to see this now. So they were the only 2 things I've ever wanted to see West Ham do, and thankfully I was close to one, but I'm going to the other one. And even if we get beat 2-3, it doesn't matter. You know yourself. You meet your friends. You go with your pals. We've got a WhatsApp group. There's one of my Bucky set up a WhatsApp group for fellas that want to go. and there's 100 people in it.
Oh,
You know
amazing.
what I mean? There's 100 geezers in, and like there was 120 or whatever, and they were dropping off. You know, every couple of days one would leave, you know, another one leave. But this core group have been together for 3 months, and these 100 geezers we're all going. Like, you know what I mean? Normally you get WhatsApp group, there might be 10 max,
10,
you know
20,
there's 100 geezers in this, all ready to run, ready to go. It's classic. I love it.
I'm old enough to remember West Ham winning the cup in '75. I remember watching the game.
Wow.
The Bobby Moore game when he was captain of Fulham, and Peter Mellor threw 2 goals in the back of his net, Mum Taylor. I can remember the year after that when they played Anderlecht in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup.
Wow.
And lost, I believe it was 4-2. I can't remember the score.
4-2,
but West Ham had a superb side then, you know.
Superb. And like
the elegance of booking,
class.
the class of Billy Bonds at the back, the lethalness of Billy Jennings up front. They were a great side. Side.
But even the team, the team that won it in '80, that won the FA Cup in '80, they were all.
Oh yeah.
You know, we came from like what's the championship now? You know, we were division down.
Yeah.
And we beat Arsenal. Like, there's no one ever. You know, there's no one going to do that now. Well, they might, but it'd be pretty.
Stuart Pearson up front.
Quality.
Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Billy Bonds was there for me. It seemed like decades.
Over 500 games. I think it was 580 games or something.
And what a great player he was. And I can't even remember him playing for England. He must have played for England, but I can't remember it.
I can't either. Jesus Christ.
He was a quality player.
Yeah. But I know someone that lives near him, and he still does be out jogging.
Does he?
Yeah, and he has to be. He has to be pushing on now. Do you know what I mean? But I used to love him because, you know, I train in the pictures. He had the gold chain on, the top off. You know, he was just class. He was just class. White shorts, Essex.
He was still playing in his 40s, wasn't he, for West Ham?
Yeah.
And then he became manager.
Give up. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had Frank Lampard's dad, and they were great. They had some great players. Devonshire was a superb player.
Oh, what would he be worth now? Oh my God,
Alan Devonshire.
So people don't talk about him enough. He was an absolute limousine. One of the best left feet I think I've seen. Yeah, put Gerrard and Zidane in one guy, or something that you might have something similar. Someone that could just do it. You know what I mean? I just wish I was around to see him because I was only born in 1980.
I can remember Devonshire. He was a great player. Player. Bit injury prone, mind, but he was a great player.
Yeah. He didn't reach his potential, to be fair, within reason, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Connor, what's Connor said?
Connor's got a bit of a good topic here, to be fair. Even lads, I think we'll win 3-1. Sorry, Stevie. We need to play Miggy in the number 10 role, regardless if we start 4 at the back or 5 at the back. 5-2-1-2 would suit Miggy perfectly. So Miggy's obviously been away as well on international duty, and he's only been with the team about a week, I think, since that all finished. Miggy's got a lot to prove this season in my eyes. I don't know what you think of Miggy, Steve. I personally love him to bits because he plays with a smile on his face. You know, he has got potential. He just hasn't really shown us his full potential yet in my eyes.
You said that last season when we had this chat as well. You were all over him again. Here we're like, oh my guy. And I was like, what is this chat fucking talking about? Who's this fucking geezer? And to be fair, the first 20, 35 minutes against us when we played you guys up there, he was phenomenal. He was electric. He
did play well,
all over. Did Dawson tackle him to get sent off? I can't remember. I think he was
Joe Linton. I think he fouled Joe Linton, didn't he?
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it was Joe Linton when he was going through and he brought him down.
He was closer to the Channel Tunnel than getting that ball. He was all over the shop. Jesus Christ. But he was down the M1. But yeah, no, he played really well that day, and then he kind of tapered off a bit. But yeah, he was electric. Now because he was all over the pitch. I didn't know where he was after the match. He was just popping up everywhere. So like that texter just said, the number 10 role, that probably suits him. But does it suit Brucey? That's the question.
No, I don't think it suits because he'll play a 5-3-1-1 potentially or something like that, or 5-4-1. But you will play 5 at the back and you'll play wing backs, which we'll come on to next, actually. We'll come on to the teams. It'd be good to talk about your team first, Stevie, before we get to the home team. So talk us through your lineup and your potential match winners out of the lineup.
Yeah, so we're lucky in a way that we don't really have a lot of injuries coming into the season. So the back four that did so well for us for most of last season will probably start this game. Cresswell, Dawson, Ogbonna, and Kufal. Ogbonna and Dawson, they're both 70% players, but when they're together, they're 90% players, if that makes sense. They just bring out the best in each other. When Ogbonna got injured, Dawson, remember all them 3-0 games that we were up when they came back to 3-2 and blah, blah, blah. Like, that was when, Ogbonna was missing for a lot of them games. So when them two kind of played together, we're just a better unit, especially defensively and attacking corners with them two. So I think that would be the back four, even though Kufal, he had extended time off after the Euros, but I think he'll probably play right back. If he doesn't, I can only see him. Fredericks has been playing a couple of games right back. So if Kufal isn't fit, he might play. But you have to start with your best team the first game of the season. If you're fit, and you're good enough, you play. Doesn't matter where you're coming back from. You want to play games. You don't want to be training. You want to be playing games. So hopefully he'll be straight in. The two guys, Rice, Souček, they're good as gold. They'll both be playing in the kind of two-man centre defensive midfield role with Souček making a bit of space and running up. Then I suppose the difference this season is we don't have Lingard now. So Benrahma would have been playing kind of left of a 3, attacking 3, but then they drop back as a 5 when they're defending. But the last couple of games, he has been playing in a number 10 role, and he's done really well, to be fair to him. He's really blossomed. So I'm hoping he can come into Sunday, with that form under his belt. Yeah, and Bowen and Fornals each side of him. So at least, and then Antonio up front. So basically, like, there's nothing new there. If anything, it's a good thing. Like, there's pros and cons. It's a good thing we have a settled team, and there's good spirit, and they all know their jobs and they all know what to do. Negatives, there's no new freshness in there, if you know what I mean. So from Newcastle's point of view, there was a smash and grab. You beat us last season, albeit we had 10 men, but that was their own fault. But you were still probably the better team in the first half anyway, so that doesn't really make a difference. So for your point of view, you're not coming up against anything new. But secondly, Antonio's on fire. Bowen's been on fire. We have Dawson up on a back. Hopefully we can have 11 men for the whole game. And Fornals the engine. Benrahma clicks, hopefully he can create something. So it's an exciting team. It's nothing new to us, nothing new to you guys. But I'd be hopeful. We play well with that side, to be fair.
Yeah, and that five-man midfield that you've got there, Souček and Rice, were, to me, probably the best two defensive midfielders in the league last year. Rice had outstanding European Championships. Together, they're awesome. Souček's not just a defensive midfielder; he bags goals as well, doesn't he? So, yeah, I mean, if we go into a game with a 2-1-2 front 5, we're in trouble against that 5.
See, the thing is, there's pace there because Rice is another season, so he's gets to a situation where he's that good. When Rice was injured, it killed us because Souček used to make the runs, but because Noble was playing instead of Rice, he can't cover as much ground. To be fair, there was a couple of games where he covered the most ground on the pitch, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the fastest guy to close down a player or win the actual ball. So when Rice is there, then Souček can actually attack a little bit more, a little bit like Lampard does, a little bit late. And at the start of last season, he did that a lot. It slowed down a bit as the season went on, but that was because other players were doing it. Lingard was doing it, and Bowen were doing it. And, they were flying in that respect, so he didn't have to as much. But definitely from set pieces, obviously we're the away team. We're going to be playing one striker up front. We are going to be trying to get you guys on the counter-attack. We played really well doing that most of last season. We won at Leeds away and Villa away, places that would be, relatively, we wouldn't have had a lot of success there over the years. So, I'd be quite hopeful that we'd have a game plan. And the beauty of it, all these players are, they know what Moyes wants from them now. So, they probably know the game plan before he's even going to say it. So, even though we don't have fresh legs, there is a lot of positives with regards to that team for Sunday.
You're looking to get well. I'd say also I'm a little bit surprised Royce hasn't been mentioned with the likes of Champions League clubs because he's an absolute storming player, and it's no coincidence that the minute he was took off against Italy, England's plans went to all over the place.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous decision.
And he did it every game as well. He took him off every single game. So and brought Henderson on, and the mobility went, and Italy walked all over us, and that was down to Rice being taken off.
Yeah, it makes such a difference.
Player.
Like he's very underrated like that. You know, to be fair, Calvin Phillips was good too, but like
yes, he was.
Right, how good was Rice against Italy in the first? He was a monster. He was
absolutely
making
outstanding.
He was immense. Like you, but if we can keep him, obviously we hope to keep him for another season. Next season he'll be gone, no matter what happens, unless we go out and spend. He's already said, you know, he expected us to buy, to invest in the team, to, you know, to compete in Europe and, you know, give it a good lash, and that hasn't happened. He hasn't signed a new contract. I wouldn't think he would. Now he's still with us for, you know, another 3 years. But at the same time, next summer I can see him hitting the road. I think it's just the fact that, you know, who's going to, you know, it's going to be big money. It's going to have to be Chelsea. It's going to have to be Man City or Man United. We're going to be needing 90 or 100 million for him because, you know, that's what he's worth to us. You know, he might not be worth it in other people's eyes, but to us, like, how do you replace him? You can't replace him, you know, because he's been our best midfielder for the last 10 years, you know, apart from Scott Parker. So, yeah, someone big is going to have to come in and buy him. Will Chelsea do it now after they're paying for Lukaku? No, probably next year, but we'll see how it goes. We keep him for this season. You know, you can't begrudge him a move. I prefer if he didn't go to Chelsea. I prefer if he went to City, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely when he went off against Italy, he went to shit.
I think both of those clubs will be after a defensive midfielder as well, which is the worst thing of it. Kante is getting on a bit, and I don't think Rodri's pulled up any trees for Manchester City. So
no, Fernandinho.
Maybe he'll invest between now and September. So we'll see. But he's a great player, Royce, and I think he made his debut against us, didn't he?
He did. Oh no, I remember the he went like that. Oh,
he scored an own goal, didn't he? Or something.
Yes. It was a short back pass to the keeper, and I forget what player it was. I forget what player of your guys ran in and scored. Yeah, it was very early door. I don't know if it was his debut, but it was definitely first couple of games anyway. We'll have to look that one up.
It was the games Henry Save scored, Baz.
Oh God, that was at Upton Park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it not Perez or Shelby or someone like that?
Might have been.
We had a weak team that day as well. I remember that one.
We're a bit of a bogey team, aren't we?
Oh. We are. We did a double over West Ham last season.
I can't believe that. Like, you know, we had such a good season. I'm not being disrespectful to Newcastle, but we had such a good season. Yeah. Like, you'd think we might draw at least one game against you, not get beat twice. Do you know what I mean?
I was shocked.
First game of the season last year as well, wasn't it? We had you, but we had you at our place.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And you totally outplayed us that day, like 2-0, wasn't it? And that was it. It was like, oh God, here we go. Here's another season. Then we went to Arsenal, played really, really well. I think we got beat again. Was it 1-0 or something? But we played them off the pitch, and then we just started. We just kicked on there then and started playing really, really well. But this is deja vu. This time last year or last season, it was the same.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing about the game when we played against you, like the first game of the season. Yes, we might have won 2-0, but I remember you guys hitting the woodwork 2 or 3 times. And if they'd gone in, it would have been a complete different game.
Yeah.
So
we actually hit the woodwork more than any club last year. But,
yeah, I saw a video on Twitter and they put it up like, you know, West Ham hitting the woodwork, and it was literally just bang, 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 bang. There was shots from everywhere. I was just like, it was unbelievable. But Billy, do you want to go through so this is what you believe Steve Bruce will do? I think you've got maybe one wrong, to be completely honest.
What would you change? Lewis for Richie?
Yeah, because I think that's Richie's spot to be taken off him.
Well, I think Richie could be. I think last year West Ham definitely got a Richie second half, and Dummett isn't there to help him this time. So I think Lewis might play for his pace. Obviously, I think we'll start with Freddie Woodman in goal, a back three of Fernandez, Shah, and Lascelles. I believe we'll play. I can't even see that. Sam Maximan, Wilson. Is it Fraser? I've got Fraser in there.
You got Fraser was a bit of a surprise because there's no Miggy, there's no Joe Linton.
Well,
Joe Linton is a Bruce favourite, isn't he? He's a Bruce favourite. So,
I mean, Joe Linton could easily play on the right. Yeah, I guess he could. But I don't think Miggy will start. I don't think he's had enough time. But on the bench, perhaps Shelby and Hayden as a sitting two. But yeah, I think that's how we'll go. But like you say, Joe Linton probably will squeeze in somewhere, and it'll probably be for Fraser. And to be fair, Joe Linton didn't play too badly against West Ham, did he, last year in the home game?
Yeah, he did all right, actually. To be fair, I think Murphy's a big key to watch.
Murphy is a huge, yeah.
You know, we've converted Murphy into a right wing back, and since then in pre-season, he's just looked absolutely phenomenal for us. And he's a big player for us this season. For someone who's been out of the picture for so long, and then he's come back and done this. He's the key to that formation.
He came back to work early, didn't he? He came back to work early. He had a minimal holiday. He was fitness training at the beginning of June, and you can tell looking at him, he looks strong. He looks quick. And he's an improved player, so improved. Probably the only one in the boost, to be fair. So yeah, Murphy will be a big player for us this year, absolutely, because he's an attacking threat as well, isn't he?
Yeah, without a doubt. He can score goals either foot as well. He can cut inside on his left foot if he needs to. He can score free kicks as well. He's got a great delivery on him, which saved us last season in some games. I think he put the ball in for. I think it was against Aston Villa for Lascelles' header, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
He's got a few assists at the end of the season, so he's going to be a big player for us. So he's the one for you guys to watch out for on Sunday, most definitely. And then again, if Willock signs in time tomorrow before 12 o'clock, he'll be on the bench, so you've got to watch out for him again.
Again. Brought my heart. After, could you imagine me 2-0 down, come back 2-2? Could you imagine me jumping around? Yeah, come on, yeah. Come on. You could imagine it. You'd be doing the exact same. And then, boom.
I was messaging you on Twitter and when we went 2-0 up. I told you game's never over, even with 10 men. I said to you probably should just go and have a drink, which I think you did in the end. But I said, don't rule you guys out, because even with 10 men, Steve Bruce likes to sit back when he's got a lead. He's an absolute nightmare for it, and I knew you would come back. I just had this feeling, and obviously we won it. Shockingly in the last few minutes.
it was a flip reversal, because we'd been through them being up 3-0 I think 4 consecutive games.
Yeah, so I remember that.
And then holding on for 2 of them or 3 of them, and then losing or drawing one of them. It was like, oh my God, here we go again. But it was like our turn to make a bit of a comeback now. And then when finally we did, I was like, oh, happy days. We're there. But then, that goal, fair play to Willock. I didn't think he had that in his locker, to be fair. Like, Jesus Christ,
I didn't think he had that kind of header.
Yeah, you would think like defenders would, be like, see this guy and go, yeah, I'll have him in my pocket. But it just goes to show, agility and desire and being an athlete. Sometimes
confidence
brings you to a level where people don't expect you to be. And that's why you pay 25 million for a guy. Do you know what I mean? Rather than 8, 9, or 10. That's the difference. It's that much, but it makes a difference because they make stuff happen like that. I did have a question for you guys. Fraser, has he been like successful?
Not even close.
No, I didn't think so, because that these free transfers, because there's no fee for them. There's a big signing on fee, and then there's a big inflated wages, and then they're happy. Then they've got their one big move, and it's very hard.
He was injured a lot, to be fair. And, and when he was played out of position, so I felt a bit sorry for him in a way. He looked like he wasn't happy though, which was obviously.
And he deliberately got himself sent off.
Deliberately got himself sent off, which doesn't help.
Deliberately.
Steve Bruce thought he wasn't fit enough to go to the Euros, but yet he went to the Euros and looked absolutely amazing for Scotland, as he always does, especially in the warm-up games. He's played a few pre-season for us. He's scored. He's set up Wilson, again, against no real great teams. He'll be thereabouts for us this season, and I hope he has a good one, but I can't say whether he will or he won't. We don't know what Fraser's going to turn up, to be honest with you. He's not been a success.
Yeah, probably a little bit. I wouldn't say Benrahma has not been a success, but would have had similar aspirations that these players can be a kind of a link. and a bit of flair. Maybe not flair, but these guys could score goals from midfield and kind of bring the ball up the pitch fast and rapidly at pace and create problems. And to be fair, Benrahma, he didn't get a lot of game time. He wasn't physically at it. But then Fraser, he's physically ready. He's Premier League player, so I would have thought he would have hit the ground running a bit better, because like we all said, why the fuck weren't we in for him? Excuse my French. We were like, oh yeah, he was on a free, we could have got him. And he would have fit perfect into our team, and we needed a left winger or whatever. And yeah, I was disappointed, but then I thought you guys were lucky. You made some really good signings last summer. But
he didn't seem like he wanted to be from day one, though, Steve. His attitude seemed a bit off. His body language was always off. And that runs for the team, doesn't it? And yeah, I don't think he actually wanted to come to Newcastle. I think we was the last resort for him. And when no one else came in for him, he had no choice. That's what it seemed like, and that's kind of the rumours that were going around as well. So, he's a good player. Doesn't fit into our system at all, does he? Does he, Baz? Really?
No, not really. Not the way Bruce plays. No,
not at all. So I don't actually understand why he did bring him to the club. And he probably would have suited West Ham, and he probably would definitely have chose West Ham ahead of Newcastle, I thought, because he didn't want to come to Newcastle.
The only thing is, like,
the chance now.
obviously, because he's Scottish, Newcastle's obviously geographically closer to Scotland, so you think maybe he would have been perfect for him because he could have seen family and friends. But like then, at the same time, maybe he doesn't want to see family and friends. Maybe you want to be down south, like Bournemouth is a lovely part of the world. You know what I mean? It's really it's warmer. It's warm down there. I've been there. It's lovely. You know what I mean? You can have a boat there. Like if you're on 100 bags a week or 50 bags a week, you can have a boat and you can go on that boat the weekend. You know what I mean? Where with respect, if you're in East End, you're not going to have a boat. If you're in Newcastle, you're probably not going to have a boat. So yeah, I don't know.
Hey, the River Tyne's beautiful, just a bit cold.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're going to be dressed like an Eskimo if you're going to be on a boat there. So it'll be a different story. But you would have thought it made sense. But yeah, if it's just important that especially nowadays, game's gone so technical. If the player isn't going to fit the system, then there's actually no point. It's like us with Yarmolenko. He went to the Euros, played really well, scored goals. He doesn't fit in anywhere in our team. Do you know what I mean? He's slow, he's methodical. He's got a brilliant left foot. But in the Premier League, you can see him shifting onto it, and people can see it a mile. Oh, that's what he's going to do. I'll just kick it away. You know what I mean? He doesn't fit into our system, and he's our biggest earner. So. Similar to, I suppose, Fraser, not really performing on big money. Kind of, is it his fault? Is it our fault? A little bit of both. So, yeah, sometimes you just have to get rid, but no one's going to buy these guys off us, are they? Because they're not going to pay him 120, 130 grand a week.
That's it. That's right.
We're stuck with them.
Two more topics, guys. One from David. Thoughts on the top four. I don't know why we want to talk about the top four, because I know we're not going to be anywhere near it. You guys might, but with having Europe as well, I think mid-table for you guys this year with all those extra games. But who do you think is going to win the league? What's your 1 to 4?
My 1 to 4 is Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Man U.
Billy?
Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United.
You got exactly the same as me. That was my prediction. I had to do a prediction on Monday night, and I went City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United as well. So interesting. That leaves us for the last question of tonight, though. Predictions for Sunday, Stevie.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna get something this time?
Push me out, the lamb to the slaughter. Push him out first. Yeah,
definitely.
With respect, I think we're going to win 2-1. I just think Antonio's on fire.
Yeah.
I just think historically it's a fixture we generally do well in. That doesn't mean anything, I know, but I'm going to say Newcastle 2, West Ham 1, and I believe Callum Wilson will score, and maybe both of them.
Yeah. Forgot about him. He always scores against us. Hey, when the fun stops, stop. But if I was to put, I have this thing, I put 11p on every Premier League game on a bet on Paddy Power. And I'm going to put 11p on him to score against us on Sunday, because that's money in the bank. He always scores against us.
I'm going to sit on the fence, and I'm going to go for Desmond 2-2. I think it'll be a thrilling game, but I think we'll be in the first game of the season. I think it'll be a draw. I would love us to win, but I think a draw. I'm going to ask one more question because we should ask this one. We'll be in the first game of the season, and there's a whole season ahead of us. Stevie, where are you going to finish this year?
I think 8th or 9th would be phenomenal.
Not bad.
So,
Billy, where do you think we're going to finish?
14th.
Ooh, see, I'm quite close to you guys. I've gone West Ham to finish 10th, and I've got us to finish 13th.
I think West Ham could finish top 6 again.
I think with the extra games and the squad depth, I think that's where the issue is going to be. If they get injuries like they did last year, I think they might struggle to keep the momentum going. But again, I could be wrong. And I mean, you had a great season last season, so
there's still time to invest on a few more bodies.
And I think 20th of August, the window closes, doesn't it? So there's still a good 2 weeks there.
Yeah. There is. Like if we got a striker in our midfield, and a defender, if we were after Zuma, Tammy, and Jesse Lingard. If we got them 3, you would say, "Fuck yes, we're gonna have a right go here." You know, already built on the great players that we have. We would say, "I'm drooling. I nearly dribbled there. Sorry, I was drooling over that." But what have we got is 7 goalkeepers.
That's crazy. 7 goalkeepers. I love it.
That's crazy. One of them's out on loan. The rest are bowling around East London somewhere in Essex. I don't know where they are. They're like, we need a shepherd. We need a shepherd and a sheepdog to get them all to come in. Fucking, you fall out of bed, you land on one of the goalies. What the fuck are you doing down there?
Well, Darren Randolph must be due a transfer to Middlesbrough. He ain't been up there for a couple of years, has he?
Send him away. Don't get me wrong. Like he needs to go. He's terrible. Like on the deck, he's terrible. He was always a backup goalie, but like he needs to move. He's not going to get any minute. He needs to move just for himself. But he's gone out with that bird that was an X Factor, Alexander Burke. Now
is he?
He's not. Oh yeah, he's had a result there. So
so if you Sally, you can say hallelujah.
Exactly. Yeah, he's singing hallelujah every weekend. But yeah, he's not going to want to leave that, is he? It's called a spade here. No disrespect to any of the ladies out there that might be watching, but like, listen, I wouldn't be leaving London if she was knocking about. So yeah, he's had a touch there. So maybe he'll want to stay. But there's plenty of clubs in London that'll pay for him. But whether he's good enough to move is another thing. But yeah, we've plenty of goalies. So like you said, Billy, hopefully we get a couple of players in. Hopefully you guys get Willock, but he's not ready for Sunday. And then we have a decent game, 2-2 draw. I'd take that now, to be honest. And just get the season just up and running, because I think we've got Leicester at home the following Monday, and they've bought so many good players. To be fair, we beat them twice last season, so I'd be confident that we might be able to get something. But this is a completely different season. They bought some good players, and so we kind of need. Yeah, they're buzzing, like they're going places. So
they lost the Fana, didn't they? And they went straight out and bought another centre half. I mean, that's how business should be done, isn't it?
Literally, but that's what I'm talking about, having proper structure. Like you have a plan. If we lose any of these players to injury or someone comes in for them, they know they have like 5 or 6 targets for every position, every player that's going. So it's like, right, let's just go. Let's go after them. And that's how you do it properly. Not little fat Sullivan sitting at home scratching himself, ringing up fellas, trying to get the best deal, waiting to the last minute. A bit like Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy could have had Grealish for 10 million and then thought he had him, got on a plane, flew to America, and then by the time he got off, Villa had new owners and the deal was off. So there you go.
That reminds me of a story where Steve Bruce offered Jack Grealish to Middlesbrough in a straight swap for Jordan Rhodes.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he was a Villa manager.
Yeah, I remember that.
We're going back 4 or 5 years.
Jordan Rhodes was banging in goals for everyone. He was a beast. He was flying them in. Where is he now? Who knows? But he used to score loads of goals. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
He's certainly not worth £100 million.
But let's just remember as well, Newcastle have made some absolute wallops in the past. We could have had Aubameyang. We also could have had Zidane in 1996 for 2.5 million.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So all clubs make mistakes.
Yeah,
and we've been catalyst of that at times.
We had Shevchenko on trial. Beat that.
Yeah, there you go.
Before
Zidane.
And then sign Marco Boogers instead.
yeah. At least he smashed Gary Neville. That's one good. That's the only good thing he did.
That is true.
Ever. Oh God,
fantastic.
Yeah. God knows what's going to happen with us lot. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see who we sign. If we sign anyone, who's going to be left in the heap at the end? Any free transfers? Anyone out of contract? Anyone that has like 2 legs? Come on. Hopefully, but yeah, I'm not holding out hope. I think we probably have a better chance of signing a few players than you guys. To be fair, because
definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt, we've
pressure
pumped all our budget on Willock. We're literally 2 or 3 loan signings now, and that'll be us done if we're lucky. So,
and plus, West Ham United is a more attractive place to go, isn't it?
You would think
play for David Moyes ahead of Steve Bruce. You're going to go to play for David Moyes in a European campaign. Yeah.
Every day of the week.
The
whole thing our owner said was we're moving to complete a world class team for a world class stadium, but like unless you actually try and buy the players, then you're not. They're not actually going to come. If you try and buy a player and then change negotiations halfway through to piss everyone off just because you want to save a couple of quid, then they're not going to come. So we just have to overcome that, and hopefully, we get that centre half from Fiorentina, and then go from there. But that would be positive.
I'm sure you will. What a show, guys! Wrap it up there. Absolutely brilliant. So 2-2, 2-1, 2-1. I still think 2-2 is going to be right. I'll pop these in the background, boys, and I'll be 1 minute.
Okay, mate. Cheers, guys.
What a great show. First one back. Absolutely love doing it. One of the reasons why I carry on doing it is for the likes of Stevie and Billy coming on and having good chat, good banter about football, and that's what we want to hear. Just to remind you all, guys, remember, Super 6 is available. There is a great prize of a Peter Beardsley signed frame shirt. Anyone can enter. It's completely free to do it. I'm just stupid enough to give away some memorabilia that I'm not allowed to hang up in my house. So please get into that league and enjoy it. Let's hope for a successful campaign for Newcastle United Football Club. Let's hope for a takeover at some point, and let's hope for another couple of signings. But for now, thanks for watching.